Greetings, brethren. Hausburger Donkey here, and I have completed the Americans, the 1 to 72 or 1 to 72nd GIs that I was working on. Let me just get some better light. There we go. That should be okay, hopefully. Okay, well, it's not going to get any better than that. So, first of all, we have 3 bazooka teams, as you can see. And I didn't really do anything different from the rest of the infantry. I did basically exactly the same painting method, which I would argue is a speed painting method. But, you know, yeah, I just wanted to get these out really quickly, so I didn't want to spend too much time on them. Then we have a 60mm mortar with an observer. See, and once again, these are all the Plastic Soldier Company miniatures. All of these are because I don't know. That's the ones I chose. I will say though, I probably wouldn't get these again. I don't actually think these models are that great. They are fine for what I'm doing with this project, but yeah. I don't know. They could be better. They could be way better. Then we have an 81mm mortar. I made 2 mortars. That one has his own observer as well. I wanted to make 2 mortars just in case I decided to use a different one. Remember, all of this is for bolt actions, so yeah. I don't need a massive amount of mortars. I really just need 1. But I wanted to have different ones. Then we have the 3 light machine gun teams that I made. We have 2 of the M1919 30 cal Brownings, the regular ones, and then 1 water-cooled version. And as I already said in the other video that I made, is that these, and one of the commenters on that last video also mentioned that this is because these are basically the 15mm models scaled up, and they also scaled up the weapons. And on the 15mm models, they are very out of scale because otherwise they'd be too tiny and fiddly. So I guess that makes sense, but it's still ridiculous how big these machine guns are. I mean, just look at that. Look at the ammunition. The ammunition is as long as his hand. That's insane. It's yeah. This one is actually kind of to scale, interestingly enough. And these are the same machine gun, you know, more or less. And this one is water cooled, but they're more or less the same machine gun. It's very strange. But yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, so I got those, and then I have 1 heavy machine gun team, 150 cal, and just look at the size of that thing. Holy crap. It's like an anti-tank gun. Just, yeah, very crazy. But I just wanted to paint one up. I don't know if I'm actually going to need it. I think for our game, yeah, I'm most likely to use a bunch of, you know, just LMGs, because that's just kind of more sensible. And then let's go with some controversy, because I also got some tanks. And I decided, because I think it looks better, I put them on bases. So depending on what you're into, you might be appalled by my decision to do this, and that's okay. You can think that. I prefer tanks to be on bases. Yeah, you should see my. You should see. You know, I don't currently. I don't have a 40k army, and I don't know if I ever will have one again. But you should see my 40k tanks, because they're all on bases as well. Yeah. So we have 3 Stuarts, M5A1 Stuarts, of course, and I did. I got decals from the company's called, I think, Peddinghaus. It's a company in Germany that makes decals for scale models, and they're okay. If you don't look too closely, you are not going to notice that some of these decals, you know, you can see the edges, and there are some air bubbles because of how they're made. I don't know. I'm not super happy with them, but it's fine. They're gonna do for the gaming table. I varnished them with ultra matte spray, which really helps. With the decals not showing through, and I kind of just went for I kind of like that for American tanks to have them not be too uniform, because they did do their tank markings in all sorts of ways. It kind of depends on when they were manufactured, and the troops then also did things of stuff. Here you can see how there's some air bubbles underneath the edges of the decal, because I don't know why, but the foil that they were, like the decal foil, was so thick that when I cut it, it sort of bent upwards on the sides, and so there's air bubbles under the side where I didn't push the varnish and the gloss varnish in enough. But honestly, I was not willing to redo it because I just wanted to get them done. This is kind of just a project I wanted to get done so I can actually play. And so I was not willing to get back. Also, the turrets can be moved on these. I was not willing to redo the painting. It took me long enough to get this done, I think. In my opinion, it took me long enough. And we have one more. You can see, called Mad Dog. And I put the American flags on this one. Again, I kind of like when American World War II tanks are a little bit more sort of, just not uniform. I think it looks better. One second. That there. And then I also have some Shermans. Once again, they are on bases. If you hate based tanks, then that's certainly not good. Right. I should say something for the painting that I did on these, because I actually tried out some new things and I'm really happy with them. Let me just zoom out a tiny little bit because I think it's a little too close, maybe. If you can see, there's some gradient work, and I didn't really do specifically a gradient. What I did is I primed these entirely in I think it's Vallejo Surface Primer Olive Drab. So it's an actual primer that I primed this whole the whole tanks in, and then into the primer I mixed in some of the new Vallejo Express color, one of the purples, just to give it sort of a. Let's see if I can. If it's in range to grab. It is very good. Okay, so this is what I mixed in. Vallejo Express color, deep purple, and that just gave it sort of a reddish olive drab color. And I sprayed from the bottom up toward the model. So I sprayed underneath the carriage. You can see it there. You can also see it at the front. Maybe if I can get the light a little bit. Let me just pull that over a little bit. You can maybe see it better. You see. On the bottom, it's kind of red brownish, and then it's green on top. And I highlighted the tank, and I basically just went along this edge and up here along the turret edges, and then slightly sort of zenithal from the front on the hull with with Vallejo model color. It won't show up well. Golden olive. Golden olive, and I mixed in some of the Vallejo Express color Imperial Yellow just to give it a bit more pop. And I did a really, really slight highlight, like really, really mild and thin, just because I wanted to have it to give it some more volume and dimension, and I think it worked out fantastic. Then I gave the whole tank a wash of a mix of Army Painter Dark Tone and Military Shader. Just this wasn't to establish like weathering or anything. This was just to give the shadows a bit more definition and stuff like that. Then I painted on really old school like. Let me just dim the light a bit so you can see it right there. Some of the chipping. Actually, no. I put the decals on first. Yeah, so for Classy Peg, for example, got the decals, and then on this one, the Trooper. Yeah, and then I painted on the chipping after the decals, and painted in the tracks, painted in all the tools and stuff. Gave those a wash. And I did not do any like streaking and things like that. I thought it was kind of fine as it is. As I said, this is kind of a quick and dirty project. I didn't want to spend an absolutely massive amount of time on this because I don't even know how many of these figures I'm actually going to use for the game. Because I mean, you're going to see for Bolt Action, this is a massive army, right? And then this is the last one, again with the American flags on the side, called Jamie. This is also the one that has the tank commander. So if I like to do that Flames of War thing where you have a tank commander on your command tank. So if I was to run this as a sort of Bolt Action tank war thing with 3 Shermans and a couple of Stuarts, then this would be my company CO, I guess. Yeah. So let me also give you a quick. I'm gonna have to see how well that's gonna work. I don't know because of the stupid tripod, but I'm gonna do my best. Sorry, I didn't want to give you any. Currently, it's really awful. It's just too much crap in here. All right, that should also fix the lighting. Just to give you a nice little overview of the whole force. So we have one of the Stuarts, 2 of the Shermans, another Stuart, the other Stuart, and the last Sherman, and the 3 infantry squads that you saw way back, like the first thing I painted. These here, here, and here, with all the command bases: sniper, medic, CO, forward observer, the bazooka teams, the observers for the mortars, and the mortars, and the machine gun teams in the front. I think this turned out really well for a project that, all in all, I think, honestly, like, how long did it take me to paint the tanks? Not long at all. Crap. I'm running out of battery. So, yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this look at my American GI army. And, yeah, take care. I'll see you in the next video. I'll keep filming until the camera decides to die. Give you some more close-ups.